Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Our top story of freshwater words has erupted between the BJP and the Congress over the hike in flight prices. Congress Party's KC Venugopal took to Twitter to launch a scathing attack on the centre. He said, and I quote, Prime Minister Modi famously said that those wearing Hawai chappals can travel on a Hawai jahaz. With Delhi-Mumbai flights crossing 15,000 rupees every day, his words sound like a cruel joke. These skyrocketing airfares are creating havoc among the middle class. The government's complete free pass to the airlines, coupled with their rampant privatization spree, is responsible for the dire situation today. That is the pitch coming in from the Congress. Now, Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia has hit back at the Congress, accusing it of undiscerning and ill-informed remarks on the aviation sector.
That there was a hike in the airfare prices. What, according to you, currently is wrong with the aviation sector, sir?
There is a steep increase in the season. That is when the schools are going to south of India, the schools are going to open, and north of India, the vacation starts. We can see that from every sector. It may be Bombay or it may be Chennai and others. Normally it will be around 6,000 to 8,000 rupees. Now it is 13,000 to 20,000 rupees. This increase is because there are 3-4 factors we feel that. For we had been asking the Honorable Minister Civil Aviation to correct it also, because the private sector, completely the airline industry has become a private industry now. Therefore, pricing has become only on profit. Therefore, and the airports has been given away for private companies like Adani in a big scale by this government. So we feel that aviation industry needs the government participation, government's intervention is needed.
And we're opening up our phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. Skyrocketing airfares. What's behind the surge? You can call us at 0120-434-1895. And what solutions can the government deliver when it comes to skyrocketing airfares? Let's get to our guests. I'm joined by Vaibhav Aggarwal, BJP leader, Arshpreet Khadial of the Congress, as well as Arya Ghosh, aviation analyst. Before I go to the political guests, I want to get a word from you, Mr. Ghosh, when it comes to the current state of the aviation sector. Do you think the prices will stabilize soon? Because we're currently seeing high traffic because of the vacation season.
That's the core point, I guess, here. I wouldn't like to enter into the political part of it, but we can employ in the aviation sector. See, the first thing is you have to look at it in this way. For an airliner, there are two different segments, which is the one is commercial, the other one is operational. Now, for the commercial section, you have.
Right, Mr. Ghosh, I'll try to reconnect with you, and we'll try to get to our political guests as well. Vaibhav Aggarwal of the BJP and Arshpreet Khadial are with us on the broadcast. Arshpreet, now the centre has said that this is because of a number of factors. This rise in airfares is because of Go First going bankrupt and its flights being grounded. It's because of the diversion of those air routes to other airlines. There are demand-supply constraints when it comes to the aviation infrastructure, and at the same time, there's no cap on pricing. Also, we're seeing a high rise in airfares because of rising demand, because of the holiday season. In your opinion, do you think this is a gross policy violation, or do you think that you're jumping the gun because the prices, as many experts suggest, could stabilize in the long run?
First and foremost, it is expected of the Bhartiya Janata Party to never ever admit that they are wrong, to always try and place the mistake over somebody else's shoulder, somebody else's neck. Now, the government saying that, it's summer vacation, so there's been a hike in people traveling. Well, is it not understood that when the summer vacations will come, this will happen? So the government should have taken the requisite measures, which they did not. And on top of that, saying that people wearing Hawai chappals can now go to and travel on Hawai jahaz is a cruel joke on them, given the fact that the Delhi to Mumbai, flight costs more than 15,000 bucks. Number 3, it is also expected of the Bhartiya Janata Party that they can say it is not really the flight fare that is going up. It is your spending capacity that is going down. the kind of statements that they've been making back in the day. Number 4, you see, does the government admit their failure or do they not? Because the simple fact of the matter is that, the government back in the day in 2022, August 2022, had lifted the cap on airfares, which they should not really have, because the economy back in the day was in doldrums. It was in shambles. Despite that, they lifted it. So the government should now tell us that all this wrongdoing of yours, do you have any solution to it? Intervention, any solid intervention in order to do away with these problems that have been begotten because of your mismanagement? Next is, you see that the middle class has been suffering a lot, especially ever since the Go First collapsed and the SpiceJet routes that have been diminished. So shouldn't the government have made sure that, in order to take care of the demand, something should have been done? The government ignored the problem. Instead of ensuring that there was no dip, that there was there was a correction done in order to fix the demand supply.
Right.
They completely ignored it. And what are they saying today? That, it's not really our fault. There are other factors involved. Tell us one simple thing. Is the government not concerned about the people suffering? Is the government not wanting to ensure that there is a solution to it? And if there is any, why does the government not tell us what you're going to do about it? Because you see, the prices have shot up to such an extent that even the upper middle class is having to suffer, and the upper middle class has been coming forward and saying that the Bhartiya Janata Party has ruined our vacations, has ruined our summertime. We were supposed to travel with our families, and now we cannot because the prices are touching the sky. And the government, instead of coming up with an answer, with a solution, is saying that, oh, we are sorry, there are other factors involved, we could not foresee it. I mean, it was a duty or responsibility to foresee it. When was the last time when in summer there was no spike, when there was no increase in the travels?
Right.
So the government cannot do away with the responsibility, with the duty. It was your job to do it. It was your job to ensure the prices did not go up. Instead of doing that, you lifted up the cap that there was, and instead of putting it back, you just let it be. And if you know that the flights are diminishing,
Arshpreet, I need you to wrap it up. I need to go to my other guests also. Last 30 seconds, please.
So all in all, what we are saying is, you see that the government has also allowed prices from Bhubaneswar and Kolkata to go out of control. Ever since you see the Balasore train tragedy took place, the government should have ensured that the prices from Bhubaneswar and from Kolkata flights should have been capped or should have been decreased. One way or the other, there should have been a solution to it. But the government, instead of admitting that
Arshpreet, okay, I get your point. I've given you ample time to make your point. Mr. Aggarwal, I want to get your response on it because I'm looking at the response that's coming from the Aviation Minister. Majority of the response is how much the government has expanded the aviation sector in this country. But when it comes to capping the prices, because even though you've expanded access, now access is diminishing because of these rising prices. So far, no action or no word has come in from the Aviation Minister when it comes to controlling the prices or any long-term game plan when it comes to easing out this price rise. Your reaction?
Ayushman, good evening. Look, what the Aviation Minister missed, that the government has no price control measures that we can actually implement on the civil aviation sector. What we can do is we can understand and control the taxes, we can control the fuel prices, we can control certain other elements. Now you understand, let's look at, Arshpreet was very vocal about letting the BJP-led government at the center know about what our duties and job responsibilities were. Let me tell them that they were a master failure and an incompetent government, a corrupt government that was there for more than 10 years. And for about 68 years, India only had 68 airports. But in the 77th year that we are in the last 9 years, we've added so many airports that the total number has gone up to 140. Now, you understand this includes water ports, helipads, which are accessible by the general public. This includes airports in cities that never thought that they will have an airport in. Now, so let's figure it out. 2014, we had a population of about 5 crores, which were taking the flights. And the civil aviation infrastructure was accordingly made, etc., etc. It is more than 14 crores, which is going to go up by 300% by 2030.
Right.
Now, I'm sure these numbers talk of a lot of competence at the UPA government because they are the ones who made this infrastructure. We never did anything. We are an irresponsible government. Very surprising and very demeaning, though. But that's okay. There, as I said, there are a bunch of incompetent, corrupt people, politicians who just wanted the satta, and that's what Rahul Gandhi says. It's satyagraha means satta, right?
But
We all
what
know
about the price rise? Let's
So it
let's
doesn't
come to
help
the
us.
point. Let's come to the point. What about the price rise?
Now the fuel pricing. Now the fuel pricing is dependent on the fuel, which is the ATF. Now the international sector as well as the domestic sector has seen a lot of rise in the ATF. Is because there is a war in Ukraine in last 15 months, and the air turbine fuel is difficult to procure, and there's a cost attached to the procurement and making it available in time for the airlines to keep flying. Now, 85%, now that's also BJP government's responsibility. 85%, India is dependent on foreign imports for fuel for 85% of our imports. Now, that's also BJP government's responsibility because we were the ones who didn't do any shit for 70 years in the center. And we just ran a corrupt government who was incompetent. And now it is the Congress government who's running the center.
I mean,
right?
as far as I see it, the
does
point.
That what anyone else means?
Right, Mr. Aggarwal, the point you're trying to.
It's very dumb. It's very dumb to call the BJP-led center government without even seeing the numbers and call them out because the incompetence of the Congress government, Congress-led government.
Right,
in the
but
past
Mr.
has only
Aggarwal,
led to this issue.
overall, I think the point that you're trying to make is that there are other factors at play. Even when it comes to pricing, there are other factors at play. And this is the consequences of pretty much an unregulated sector because the aviation minister has said that we have only advised airlines to self-regulate their fares under a certain limit. And he has only said the result of which is that prices have come down by 14% to 16% since the 6th of June 2023. That's still at the end of the day, it's... I know you're talking about access to aviation services, but so many people are being edged out of it. Okay, I'll give you time to respond. I need to get the aviation analyst, Mr.
Right now is 7,000 rupees.
Right, I want to get the aviation analyst, Mr. Ghosh, also onto the broadcast. We had an audio issue with him. Mr. Ghosh, your reaction to the current state of the aviation sector, seeing this rise in prices, in your opinion, currently the government asks the airlines to self-regulate their fares. Given the fact that there is a high VAT on ATF by multiple states, at the same time there is rising demand, it's the holiday season, do you think these prices will ease out in the long run?
The ATF is one of the components. If you look at it, ATF is one of the components as far as operational cost is concerned for an airline. But we need to look at some basic factors. First, I'd be explaining the position of an airliner as an airline employee. Then I'd be definitely explaining the things from a passenger's perspective. Now, there are two segments, as I was earlier, explaining. One is commercial, and one is operation for an airliner. So the commercial segment involves cutthroat competition as far as giving incentives to the travel agents are concerned. And then along with that, you have various things like paying salaries to the employees and all, and then marketing. So these are the factors you need to consider. And then comes the operational part. The operational cost would involve the fuel cost and then the various infrastructure related costs like the parking cost, the navigational cost. So these are not controlled by the Adanis or anyone for that factor. So the airline infrastructure, the airport infrastructure, for example, if some ABCD, if anyone has taken over the control of some airport in India, so there will be a minimal increase as far as the rental is concerned. If one airliner has got an office within the premises, So that will be a minimal expense that they will incur. But the operational cost, there are several factors we need to take into consideration, like RASM, ASM. These are the things one would look at. And what I've observed, my humble appreciation is that there are lean seasons and there are pickup seasons for any airliner.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, this is a peak season wherein people are going for holidays and all. And if you're, for example, if you're taking a very long, flight route, like from Bangalore to Kolkata, the distance covered would be much higher than a flight from Mumbai to Bangalore.
Right.
So there, some people would think that, for holidaying, you would like to reach on the date of your booking. When your booking starts, when you have booked your hotel, you would like to reach on that date itself instead of and utilize that day.
So there are multiple factors at play. I think we'll have to leave it at that. Thank you, Mr. Ghosh and Arshpreet Khadial and Vaibhav Aggarwal for joining us as the political war continues.